Hi, welcome back. My name is Pooja. I'm an integrative nutritionist and I work with women who have hormonal issues. This is a series on PCOD and so far we have covered 3 factors affecting PCOD. This video is about the 4th factor, and that is micronutrient deficiency, which might be the reason for your PCOD symptoms. Micronutrients, what are micronutrients? Micronutrients are small nutrients which are needed in an extremely small quantity by your body for its proper functioning. So these are not macronutrients like carbohydrates, proteins or fats, but they are needed by the body in very small amounts. These are your vitamins like A, D, E, K, which are fat soluble, and water soluble like B complex and vitamin C. These are also micronutrients like zinc, magnesium, selenium, calcium, iron. These are the nutrients which you need in very small quantities, but they are very critical for your proper functioning. So if they go missing in your body because you're not able to take it through your diet, then it can create a lot of havoc inside your body. Micronutrient deficiency is very common these days because of the lifestyle and the kind of food we eat. We are eating a lot of times from outside. We get these deliveries, takeaways from outside, which are cooked and reheated again and again, and by the time you start eating them, they've lost pretty much every nutrient in their content. So again, the food that we are eating, the way it is sourced, because it's been on the shelf for very long, it has been plucked from the trees very long back, and then for 2 months they're on the shelf and they look really good from the appearance, that it looks like, okay, wow, they look really nice, but they are lacking in the micronutrients because they've been on the shelf for that long. So just the way we are sourcing our vegetables, because they're not organic, they are laden with insecticides, pesticides, just the quality of the food that we get on the table is not good. So that leads to micronutrient deficiency. Again, if our digestion is not great, then the absorption of these nutrients also do not take place. So even if you're eating the right amount of food and the best kind of food, but your digestion is not working properly, then it can just go out of the system without getting absorbed. So micronutrient deficiency is really a real thing. There are lots of nutritionists and doctors who would recommend you micronutrients depending on your symptoms, and it really helps if you're taking these supplements, because they're looking at what kind of micronutrient deficiency would be leading to PCOD. Now, there are lots of different micronutrients, and I'm by no means undermining the importance of any of these, but for PCOD in particular, I have highlighted 6 to 7 of these micronutrients which I think are most common, and it is most commonly seen in PCOD patients. So to start with, my first one on the list is vitamin D. Vitamin D is one of those critical vitamins which are not even called vitamin these days. It's actually called a hormone because it is so critical. Every single cell in your body has a vitamin D receptor, so which means that the cell is looking for that vitamin D, and that mainly comes from sunshine or just getting the sun exposure. Again, going back to ancestors, yes, that's the kind of environment we lived in. We lived outdoors and we took a lot of sunshine as a direct exposure without any sunscreens and lotions. So this is how the body is designed, this is how we've evolved, and vitamin D is one of the most critical, I would say, hormones that you need for your body. And it is one of the most common deficiencies that we find in women who have hormonal issues of any kind, whether it's infertility or whether it's PCOD, whether it's ovarian cysts. Complicated problems like these boil down to something as simple as vitamin D deficiency. So vitamin D is one of the most important micronutrient that you need for your hormonal problems. Vitamin D, actually the source is the sunlight, and generally we are very we're scared of the sun because of obviously the reports that we get in the media that too much of sun exposure causes cancer, it causes skin cancer, and you get tanned, and we are obsessed with fairness, so we do want to avoid going out in the sun. However, sun is our primary source of energy, and it is needed by us as much as it is needed by the plants. If you actually put a plant inside your house without sunlight, it will wilt very quickly. So we are living indoors all the time. We do need that exposure at some point of time every day, at least 15-20 minutes of exposure, so that cells lighten up, or they get that basic energy that they are looking for. So vitamin D is very, very critical. The deficiency is very common because we are using a lot of lotions when we are going out. We are wearing shades as soon as we step out in the sun, and the best way to take sunlight is through your eyes. So even if you're wearing lenses, I would say that just taking off your lenses for 15-20 minutes and just giving exposure to your eyes through your naked eyes to the sun is really important. You don't have to look at the sun, but just being in the sun and taking this natural light in through your eyes makes a huge difference. Vitamin D can cause a lot of problems because it is the building block for all sorts of hormones. It is the precursor to most of the female hormones. So it becomes really important that you are aware of this and you are constantly knowing that oh, actually my problem could be because of lack of sunlight exposure. It is very easy to get tested on, you know, whether how your vitamin D levels are. Just a blood test will tell you if your levels are okay or not, and 80% of the cases I usually see that vitamin D is deficient, and we end up supplementing them because that is the quickest way of getting rid of the symptoms. But yes, vitamin D is on top of my list. The next one on my list is vitamin C. A very important antioxidant. It is getting a lot of media attention these days because it apparently is very good for your skin. So a lot of people are using serums which are full of vitamin C to give them this really nice layer of antioxidants to their skin, and their skin starts looking amazing if they are applying these serums. So vitamin C is getting a lot of popularity, but from hormonal point of view, again, it is very important. Vitamin C is very important for fertility of men specifically. And it is generally very good for everyone. We, like, again, you know, I keep going back to ancestors. We were living outside, we were eating fruits and vegetables fresh out of the trees, and that's how the body is. Body likes to eat lots of vegetables and fruits which are rich in vitamin C. They're general antioxidants, and they really help to reduce the inflammation inside your body and all the irritation that's happening inside your body. So vitamin C is really important. Taking it through natural sources will really help reduce the inflammation. So you know, you just general irritation that you get of pain before in PCOD and other hormonal issues, that's because of the inflammation, and the inflammation can really reduce if you increase the intake of antioxidants, and the best way to do that would be through vitamin C. So vitamin C is another one on my list, my favorite. And the next one on my list is iron. It is very different from other micronutrients in the sense that it has a recyclable property. So if you take iron through food if there is sufficient amount of iron, it keeps getting recycled in your body. So you actually don't need more iron from outside. So that's why you've seen that in men do not have hemoglobin issues or iron deficiency issues, because they have taken enough iron from the food, and that keeps getting recycled in the body. However, it is very different in women, because women lose blood every month, and if you are not having the diet which is rich in iron, then you can very quickly be deficient in iron, because the blood is going out, the iron is going out, the hemoglobin is now needs more iron. You're not having iron rich food, so quickly you can fall into that trap of getting iron deficient. So iron is very important for your general well-being. For women specifically, iron becomes on top as a priority. You should keep getting iron levels checked, ferritin levels checked, to see if your hemoglobin levels checked, to see if everything is okay. And that becomes really important for you to just keep a check on that. That is something that you can get easily tested through a blood test. The next one on my list is B12. Again, very common deficiency these days, very, very common in vegetarians, and especially in India, most of us are vegetarians, because B12 usually comes from dairy products and meat products. And vegans who are not even having dairy products, then they tend to have a B12 deficiency. B12 is very common deficiency, so that is something that you must get tested before you start your journey of PCOD remission naturally, because that could be one of the reasons that might be feeding into your PCOD problem. So B12 is the next one on my list. The next one on my list is magnesium. Magnesium is Very common deficiency again because women mostly are not having that much green leafy vegetables. They especially women who have diets very rich in very high carb diet and they avoid eating vegetables, then magnesium could be a deficiency. And the way to recognize or identify whether you could have magnesium deficiency, if you get a lot of leg cramps or you have depression before periods, or you feel really low for no reason, or you have chocolate cravings, that could actually give you an indication that there could be a magnesium deficiency. The next one is zinc. Zinc again is present a lot in seafood, and zinc deficiency is quite common, and that is something to look out for because it tends to give you a lot of hormonal issues if there is a zinc deficiency. The next one on my list is B6. B6 is a period supplement. It is one of the most important vitamin that you need for your hormonal health. If you have too much pain before period, if you're feeling too low, nauseous just before periods, then B6 deficiency could be the reason for that. So B6 is another very important vitamin for you if you are having PCOD problem. And then after that, the last one but not the least, it's one of the most important, is iodine. Iodine is required for a good thyroid health. And thyroid, as I have told you in previous videos, is directly connected to your female hormones, and if the hormones are out of whack, then it can affect thyroid, and if thyroid is out of whack, it can affect your female hormones. So they're really delicately connected to each other. So iodine is something which is required by thyroid and also by your ovaries. So the highest amount of iodine present is in your ovaries after thyroid. So iodine deficiency could actually be giving you a lot of problems, and can be a single most reason for your PCOD problem. So iodine deficiency is something that you really want to look at if you are looking at micronutrient deficiency. So yeah, that's the end of the list here. These are the micronutrients that I had listed down. So with this, I come to an end of all the list of micronutrients that I had listed down for you for PCOD problems. Please have a look at these. Go to an expert and ask them how you can actually supplement yourself through this, or just simply Google the food which is rich in these micronutrients and start having them. That would be the easiest way to get rid of this problem. But these were the few micronutrients that I really wanted to highlight in my video. I will be doing a detailed video on supplementation and how to have these supplements, what are the foods that are rich in these particular micronutrients. I'll be doing a detailed video on that, but for now I've just listed down the 6 to 7 micronutrients which are absolutely critical for your PCOD symptoms. So I hope you liked this video and the information that I've shared here. If you feel that this information might be helpful to any of your friends or family, please feel free to share this video with them, and I will look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thank you.